What's going on, guys? It's your boy Sensei Adam, and today we're really close to the update. We finally got all of the sneak peeks out of the way, and now the update's probably gonna drop either Thursday or Friday. According to Supercell themselves, they said it's gonna be this week, but you know that I always investigate everything to try and give you guys the best information. Well, on the Reddit, somebody posted this today, that if you bought a mythic between December 1st and December 6th, you're gonna get a reimbursement of 250 gems. That's because they didn't tell anybody about the mythic box, so they're just gonna reimburse people that bought it. Well, December 6th is actually today. So if the update was gonna release on Friday or any other day, they might have put other times, would have put this to December 7th. So that's why I think the update's gonna be tomorrow, on Thursday. But it could be on Friday or on Monday. They could choose to delay it as much as possible. But just my hunch, I think it's gonna be tomorrow, and I'm very hyped for it. I've been waiting for it since a week ago, since we saw the Brawl talk. And one of the things I keep seeing in the comments that you guys want me to upload a video on is to make a video on who's the best to upgrade after the update, because you're gonna get all of your elixir back in the form of tokens. So everybody's gonna have a clean slate on whatever you want to spend your new tokens on. So I'm just gonna go over what I think the best and worst brawlers are to upgrade, basing them off on their special ability. Because if you max out a brawler, you can unlock their special ability and it improves them dramatically. So that's what I'm gonna rank on, what you should upgrade on based on their special ability. And how I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna rank everybody from 1 to 19, but I'm also gonna put them in a category, the best to upgrade, still great, medium, and just bad. So everybody can have the best knowledge on using their new tokens. First things first, we already know what the balance changes for the update are, and this is it right here on the screen. So you guys can just read all of it, but the gist of it is just that Dynamite, Barley, Brock, and Colt are all getting a nerf, while Pam, Poco, Crow, Jesse, Nita, and Bo are all getting a buff. Now, I agree with most of those except Crow. He was already, by many top players, the best player, the best brawler already in the game, and now he's gonna be even more OP. So already knowing that, plus all the brawler's special ability, we can get a good sense of who's the best to upgrade and who's going to be the strongest. So let's just start off with the worst category. These are the ones that their special ability aren't that great, so it's not worth upgrading them to max straight away. I'm not saying you shouldn't use any tokens on them, because some of these are amazing brawlers, but it's just that their special isn't that much of a game changer, so you shouldn't prioritize upgrading them to max right away. And this is the list. It includes Terra, Spike, Darryl, Poco, El Primo, and Bull. And that's from the best to the worst in the worst category. And the reason why I have them, especially let's say Bull. Bull, his special, I think it's some kind of a joke, because when you're at 30% health with your brawler, you usually don't want to keep firing. You want to regenerate your health. So having his ammo reload faster isn't very useful, because you're just going to try and regen your health and not try and kill the people. As for El Primo's super, it's more for utility. Usually do it to run away or to get closer to your opponent, so you're not using it for the damage. So it's not as useful to have that damage over time. For Poco, the problem with his is that he's primarily used in smash and grab as a gem carrier. And what's the thing that gem carriers don't want to do? Yeah, that's right, they don't want to die. And his super is only useful when you die. You don't want it to have your gem carrier always dying to use a special ability. It just seems counterintuitive to his entire purpose. Speaking of counterintuitive, we also have Spike's special ability. And the problem with his is that when you use his super, you're generally aiming for the enemy, not aiming down at your feet. Because if you just use it on yourself, it's going to take forever for you to reload another super. And if you do throw it at your enemy, you're not going to be standing on top of it, because if you go close to the enemy, that's just a bad idea and you're just wanting to die. And then as for Darryl, he has some of the same problems as Bull's super, because you can't choose where to stop. So if you accidentally end up on the enemy's base, like, you're gonna die a lot of the time, because all three of them are gonna start hitting you. So I just don't think it's worth maxing him at first. And then lastly, on the worst list, we have Tara. Now Tara is a very good character overall because of her super, but her special ability isn't that great. It summons like a little minion that doesn't have too much health, and it dies really easily, so it's not that useful, and it's only good for distracting the enemy for like a split second. Alright guys, now that we're done with the worst ones, let's move on to the medium category, which is the one that have like a medium priority. They could be good, but there's some flaws to their design. And our first brawler in the medium category is going to be Piper. Now Piper, she does get a damage buff with her super ability if you're inside a bush. But one of the problems I see with that ability is it's going to get people to go into more predictable locations, like specific bushes where people are going to predict the Piper to always be at. Next, we also have another long range damage dealer, Brock. And the thing with this super is, if you do hit your enemy like normal, it's just going to provide another damage boost because they're not going to be able to move out of the way of the fire in time. But if you do miss your opponents, I don't see anybody being dumb enough to just walk into the fire, so I think it's kind of a medium priority special ability. And next up we have Nita. The thing is, Nita's ability at first looks like it's extremely good, but if you take a second to think about it, her bear's still gonna be as slow as ever. So it's not gonna get that many hits off on your enemy, so it's not gonna regen your health that much. And then secondly, the bear is a tank, so it loses health really quickly. I mean, with your attacks regenning the bear's health, it could last one hit longer from your opponents, but it's not going to be a complete game changer. And lastly, on the medium tier, we have Barley. Barley, for every time he throws a bottle, he gets back 100 HP. And that might sound like a lot, but under the old system that would just be 25 HP. So it's not too much health that you get per bottle, so when you are low on health, you are going to have to stop throwing bottles to get your health back. But when you do just take a little bit of chip damage, it will help you on battles to like not have to just stop to get some of your health back. And now that we're done with those two categories, let's move on to our next two categories. Now everybody in these two categories, you can argue that their special ability is a game changer. They really provide a boost to like what their character is all about, and it helps them out a tremendous amount. So our third category is going to be the great category, and first we have Ricochet. His ability is if you bounce a shot off the wall, it's going to go faster and deal 100 more damage. And that would be 25 extra damage on the current system. And this really just reinforces Ricochet as somebody that can bounce shots off the wall, because that's what he does. He does extra damage when he bounces it off the wall. Next up we have Jessie, and I really think this really helps her because it makes her turret stay up for longer, especially if you know how to place her turret somewhere. And it makes her range a lot longer. Say you put the turret in a bad spot, you can be really far away, shoot the turret, and it's going to redirect towards your enemies, so that's really useful. Speaking of unique abilities, we have Dynamite. Now his, I think, is probably one of the most unique out of all of them, because now you can use your own attacks to do things like jump over walls, and it would really help for things like running away. Like say you're being chased, you can just jump over the wall, and it really helps with repositioning yourself. Last but not least on this section, we have Pam. Now Pam's special ability is really unique because for every ammo that you hit on somebody, it makes like a healing station radius around her that heals everybody in it for 30 seconds. And I really like this ability because it just reinforces her as like a healing support character. Now guys, the moment you've been waiting for. The top 5 best special abilities that you want to max out your characters to get them. These special abilities from these 5 characters are just extremely strong, and they like change the game of how that character is played. Like it just improves them so much that you have to have them. And in the number 5 spot, we have Crow. Now I don't get why Supercell like buff Crow, but they did, because a lot of top players were already saying that Crow was one of the best characters in the game, and they give him the buff that his super lands on the ground a lot faster. So with this, his special ability is that when somebody's poisoned, they do 10% less damage. Like, that's a lot. That's basically giving your whole team a 10% health boost whenever you poison somebody. Coming in the number 4 spot, we have Shelly. Now Shelly, her special ability is that when you hit somebody with your super, they become a lot slower, like a lot, for 3 seconds. And that basically means for me, when you hit somebody with your super, they're dead. Because they're not going to be able to run away from your next 3 attacks. So if you hit somebody at medium range, like your teammate and you are going to put all your bullets into them and then they're done for. And now guys, we finally reached the top 3. And these like are just insanely strong. Like starting off with number 3, we get Bow. Bow, it's a giant difference. When you have a special ability, instead of seeing 2 tiles like everybody else, in bushes you can see 5 tiles. That's just insane. And then this boost also helps your teammates because they can see all the bushes that you see. So if you're around somewhere like on a map like Snake Prairie, they're going to be able to see everything that you can see. And it's going to give you a huge advantage over all your opponents. And it's going to make it really hard for them to hide. In the number 2 spot, we get Mortis. Mortis's is just like essential to him now. When you kill somebody or your team kills somebody, they drop this little tombstone and if Mortis picks it up, he gets back 1,200 health. And that would be 300 HP with the current system. And that's just required for Mortis. You need that. Because it's just going to make you survive a lot longer. And it's going to make you be able to engage with the enemies, get the kill, and regen some health back so you can actually escape there alive. And in the number 1 spot, the brawler that I think is going to be the best, or the second best, only behind to Crow after the update, it's going to be Colt. His special ability is to move faster, so you're going to have a faster movement speed. Not as fast as Crow, but faster. And that's really useful because it's going to make you be able to juke people a lot easier, especially if you play a game like Heist. If you've played it before, you know that a Crow can dodge a Dynamite and a Barley really easy. And Colt is already really good at Heist. So imagine him being able to dodge Dynamite and Barley shots. Now that's just insane. Adding to that, he's probably already a top 3 or top 4 brawler right now. So with that, he's probably going to be in the top 2, like I said before. Adding to that, Supercell just nerfed the wrong thing about him. Like, he's still going to have a ton of health for a long range damage dealer, and he's still going to have his 1 second reload time. So I just think that Crow is a must for him to max. You need to max him. He's going to be really good for a common. Everybody's going to have him. So my suggestion would be to max him first. For me personally though, these are probably going to be the brawlers that I maxed out first. I'm probably going to be able to max out 9 or 10 with all the tokens that I'm going to get. But yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I really hope the update is tomorrow or on Friday. When it does drop, I'm going to post a ton of videos on it. And I might even do a live stream, I'm not too sure. But yeah, keep on the lookout for that. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully with the update already released. Peace guys.